MudRFunR here. Today I'm going to be working on my 04.5 GMC Sierra HD. It's got the 6.6 liter LLY Duramax, and this one has a 5-speed Allison transmission in it. So today I'll be changing the transmission filter, and both of them, and also the fluid. So these are the instructions that came with the internal filter, and it says to drive the vehicle for about 5 minutes, or let it run for 5 minutes before draining the fluid, and I'm just about to do that. You'll be needing a big drain pan, a torque wrench. I'm using a 3/8 ratchet with a 13 mil and a 15 mil socket. Filter wrench, possibly you might be able to get it off by hand, or maybe one like this with a clamp. You'll be needing a new filter. Comes with the gasket. I'm told you need about 10 liters of ATF. About 15. So my owner's manual says I need Dextron 3. I'm sure you could put Dextron 6 in there, the synthetic, but this is what the owner's manual said I need, so that's what I'm using. And you better check your own owner's manual. I'm not responsible for anyone putting the wrong fluid in. Check your owner's manual. I am not a licensed mechanic. Take my advice at your own discretion. So, thanks for stopping by my channel and for clicking on this video. Hope you subscribe if you like the video. And now we got to get to work underneath the truck. So, sorry about the light rays coming from behind the truck there. Sun shining, I don't mind. I don't have the truck all the way in the shop. My snowblower is still sitting in front of the truck, and so again, sorry for the light rays, but I am really enjoying the sunshine. So this is a 15 mil right here. Out she comes. So while that's draining, I'm just gonna start loosening these up. And these are a 13 mil or a 1/2 inch. Actually fits on there. So it's about done dripping. I'm just going to put the plug back in just so it doesn't drip all over me while I'm underneath here. Pan out of the way for a minute. And just going to use my cordless drill here to get those bolts out. Be a little quicker. Okay, so I got 2 bolts left in there. Just gonna get the drain pan back underneath here. And this one over here. Now you're going to lose some more fluid again. Get your pan ready. Alright, so I'm just going to lift this end up, and there's still going to be fluid in there. slide it out with the drain pan. Yep, I might need the pan under there. There we go. Still dripping under there. So there's the filter. And just gonna pull that straight down. Some more fluid will come out. And your filter is going to be full of fluid. Alright. And got one more thing to do, and that's pull off the spin-on filter. And I'm just going to get my wrench on there right away. And there should be a magnet up inside of this filter. It's going to either stick to the filter or it's going to stick to the transmission. And this one doesn't have a magnet. Wow. So it's been removed at some point in time. Not good. Oh, and there goes my gasket. So I've got the old transmission filter here, and I've compared both sides with the new one. It's the same, and for some reason this one here, I think the stickers must have came off, but it is the same filter right there. And if you're buying a Wix, it's 57701. And I've got the drain pan right there, and the pan from the transmission. Just going to dump out the remainder into there. Fluid doesn't look too bad yet. I can't remember the last time I changed it, but it was due. So I emptied my drain pan into these jugs right here. This is a 5-liter jug, and this is a 4-liter jug. So by the looks of it, I've got roughly almost 9 liters that I took out of that. So that 9 liters will be roughly what I'm going to put back into the transmission just to start, and then I'll check it. So I'm just going to clean off a little bit around the edges of this pan here. And I've got the inside nice and shiny clean already. Outside, yeah, not so bad. It's an old truck. And just make sure you go around the outside there. Make sure there's not a lot of grit and dirt around these bolt holes, because that'll throw your torque off if you get too much grit in between there. So this is the gasket that came out, nice rigid. Got the steel in the middle, but I've already reused this one once, so I don't really trust it. So this is the flimsy rubber one right here, and I got all the bolts in just part way, just to hold the gasket into place, make sure nothing slips out. I'm taking my new filters under the truck with me, and just taking a little bit of some transmission fluid, and gonna wet that seal down nice right there. There we go. And And this is the spin-on filter. Just going to add a little bit of some fluid down the center of this too, so it doesn't have to start up dry. There we go, just a little bit. And then I'll do the same with this seal right here. A little bit of some transmission fluid on it. And I'm going to have to get that magnet and replace it. I was about to get under the truck, and this is what I found right here. Nice big puddle. I guess it's still dripping from where I took the spin-off filter from. So you might want to keep a pan under there, even though you're not paying attention to what's going on under here. That looks like about another liter of fluid on the floor. Wow. Okay, I'm going to get that mess cleaned up, and I'll get back to you. So this is still dripping right here, but sooner or later got to get it on there. It's a lot of fluid that came out of there. Just make sure you clean that whole ring up right there, and of course put your magnet back in if you had one. And once you feel it that it's right there where the rubber just starts to touch, and you're supposed to do one full turn after that. There it is, one full turn. Now you're also going to want to make sure that you dry and clean this whole outer area where the gasket goes on. I'm going to clean all that up and I'll get back to you. So I have my new filter right here. So the one thing you want to make sure is that the old O-ring came out with the old filter, which this one did. And this O-ring has been covered with transmission fluid. And it should just slip right in there. So the filter is in place. Just going to lift this pan up, careful with the gasket, and I'm just going to start every one of these in by hand, make sure that the threads are going in straight to start them. Really wouldn't want to cross thread any of this, it's going into aluminum, so they're all started in by hand. So I'm just going to go all the way around, do it back and forth. As I was looking through the instructions again, I noticed that there was a variation in the torque, a huge variation. On these instructions it says 120 inch-pounds that you're supposed to use for the pan gasket. So on the videos that I watched online, the torque was 240 inch-pounds or 20 foot-pounds, but they were using the factory-style rigid gasket like this with the metal through the center of it and the metal around the holes. Now the gasket that came with the filter, this is not the gasket, but it's one of these flimsy ones, so I'm guessing that's why it's only 120 inch-pounds. And I'm going to start with the side one here. Okay, so that's all torqued down, and the drain plug is 26 foot-pounds or 312 inch-pounds. Okay, time to fill her up. So, get the dipstick out, and nice clean transmission funnel. Dirty on the outside, clean on the inside. So one of these jugs here holds 5 liters, and so I'll put 2 jugs in. I'm pretty sure I lost a liter on the floor, and 9 liters went into those containers, so 10 should be a good place to start. Okay, so I got 10 liters back in there, dipsticks back in, and I'm going to start it up right now and run it through the gears. Run it through every gear and make sure that you hold it in that gear, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds, and just make sure you go through all the gears. Make sure you have your foot on the brake when you're going through the gears. So I've done that, went through all the gears now, and I'm going to check the dipstick, and it should be at full right now. So keep it running in park and idle. But the full mark is right there on the dipstick. And the full hot right here. So I'm going to take the truck for a little drive, get the transmission up to operating temperature, and then I'm going to check it again and make sure that it's on the full on the dipstick. So I'm back from about a 15-minute drive, and engine temperature is about normal, what it would be for this time of year. It's 5 degrees Celsius right now, and transmission temperature, it's just barely moved off the mark, and that's usually what it does unless I'm towing in this kind of weather. And if you'll have a look at my odometer right there, this thing's been around the block once or twice. Crosshatch right here on the dipstick, so it's fully hot. Perfect. So I was just under the truck and check for any leaks. Everything looks good under there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button on the video if you like the video. If not, hit the dislike, hit the like, whichever. Thanks again for watching.